peaceful may die, but that idea will, after his death, incarnate itself in 1,000 lives.
Today, in the 21st century, all of us have the freedom to speak and walk around freely without any restrictions or rules. We are so used to this thought of freedom that we take it practically for granted. But we should not forget that this feeling is the result of the sacrifices performed by our own people who played an extremely important role in freeing our country from the British rule. I am Satvik Bhardwaj from
And I, Diyasha Roy, from class 9th of Arwachinians International School are here together on this virtual platform to show our gratitude and respect for the martyrs who laid down their lives for the sake of our country's freedom.
Friends, today happens to be 13th April 2021. On this very day, 102 years back, an incident took place in Amritsar, which shook our country to its roots. The Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, also known as the Amritsar Massacre, is considered a symbol of colonial cruelty and a turning point in the Indian freedom struggle, with its focus shifting from seeking better conditions for the native population to full independence.
Yes, you are right, Satvik. This incident took place on 13th April 1919 when acting Brigadier General Dyer ordered troops of the British Indian Army to fire their rifles into a crowd of unarmed Indian civilians in Jallianwala Bagh, Amritsar, Punjab. Some 1,650 rounds were fired. Many young children were killed and 2 bodies of women were found. It was a huge massacre and over 1,000 people were killed. No help in the form of medication was provided to the wounded people.
Then, a committee was set up to inquire into these events, and the Hunter Commission report, which came out in 1920, unanimously condemned Dyer's actions. However, the Hunter Committee did not impose any penal or disciplinary action against General Dyer. The Jallianwala Bagh Massacre marked a turning point in India's freedom struggle. Rabindranath Tagore renounced his knighthood in protest, and Mahatma Gandhi gave up the title of Kesari Hind, bestowed by the British for his work during the Boer War. This incident angered Udham Singh, who took revenge by assassinating Michael O'Dwyer. He was subsequently tried and convicted of murder and hanged in July 1940.
Today, the hard work, sacrifice and pain of these freedom fighters have led to our freedom. Let us not forget this ever, and in order to make others also aware about the same, we, the Arwachinians, are here again with an array of programs prepared under the able stewardship of our teachers. Coming with the first program, we have Devika Rali of class 10, who will deliver a speech on this day.
Good morning everyone. I'm Devika Rali of class 10A, and today I'm going to be briefing you about one of the most barbaric and cold-blooded, cold murder of innocent and unarmed civilians of the country that happened on April 13, 1999, which is considered one of the darkest days in the freedom struggle. Of course, I'm talking about the Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. The colonial government had passed a law called the martial law. This law prohibited the people from moving around in mass gatherings. But some people were unaware of this law, like the people near Jallianwala Bagh. The people had gathered together for the annual Baisakhi festival. However, the local authorities made the visitors leave the fair. Some of the visitors went to the Golden Temple, while the others gathered at Jallianwala Bagh. It was a huge enough space to support the gathering of a large crowd. But the city was under martial law. General Dyer now got the message that crowd was gathered at Jallianwala Bagh. That made him order his troops to open fire on the crowd. The garden had only one working exit. The rest were either narrow or closed. The general ordered his troops to block the only exit and surround the unarmed crowd. That meant that people in the garden had no way to escape. Around 600 people were killed in the shots and more than 1,000 were injured. There is no correct list that has been published which states the accurate number of people killed. Many rumors are surrounding the incident stating the number of people killed. While some say more than 1,000 were killed, others say only about 150 to 200 were killed. This was truly one of the most gruesome and brutal massacres that happened in India.
Great! A very inspiring speech, my friend. We bow to those martyrs who were killed mercilessly in the Jallianwala Bagh on this day. We will never forget their courage and sacrifice. Their valor will truly inspire Indians for the years to come.
Continuing with the program, and in order to create a better awareness about this day, here we have Pranay Gupta of class 10 to give us a more elaborate information about Jallianwala Bagh Massacre through a PowerPoint presentation.
Greetings to all, myself Pranay Gupta of class 10th and I will tell you about Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. Something you should know about Jallianwala Bagh. Jallianwala Bagh is a historical garden and a memory of national importance in Amritsar, India. It is preserved in the memory of those wounded and killed in Jallianwala Bagh Massacre that occurred on the site of the festival of Baisakhi, 13th April 1999. It houses a museum, a gallery and a number of memorial structures. The 7-acre garden site of Massacre is located in the main city of Golden Temple Complex, the holiest shrine of Sikhism, and is managed by Jallianwala Bagh Memorial Trust, which was established as per the Jallianwala Bagh National Memorial Act 1951. These are some pictures of Jallianwala Bagh. Small gist of Jallianwala Bagh incident. The Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, also known as Amritsar Massacre as it happened in Amritsar, took place on 13th April 1999 when the acting Brigadier General, General Dyer, ordered the troops of British Indian Army to fire their rifles in the crowd of unarmed Indian civilians in the Jallianwala Bagh, Amritsar, Punjab, killing at least 379 people and injuring over 1200 other people. Without giving any warning, he ordered his sepoys to fire at them. In this firing, thousands of people were killed and wounded. And the main question is, why did the people gather in Jallianwala Bagh? The British Empire found itself at a loss of manpower in the First World War. The native Indian leaders opted to help the British Empire in lieu of bloodless transfer of power to India. However, Britain refused to honor its commitment to free India. Indians resented the fact that the British had exploited their goodness as well as their finances without any gratitude or help. As you already know that British India had done so much destruction in India, so this was the main reason why did the people gather in Jallianwala Bagh. On 10th April, on ODO's order, British officials in Amritsar arrested Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu, a Muslim lawyer, and Dr. Satyapal, a Hindu who had served as a medical officer in British Army. They were the leaders of Amritsar National Movement. So, as you can see that a national movement called Amritsar National Movement was going on, and Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu and Dr. Satyapal were arrested on the order of ODOs. This was under the Rowlatt Act, in which we can arrest the people without any warning. The background. Despite the proclamations against the meetings, thousands of Indians flocked to the Jallianwala Bagh on 13th April 1999. Most of them in support of imprisoned Kichlu and Satyapal. So the people arrived in support of Kichlu and Satyapal, who were imprisoned. Some arrived after the police had closed a nearby fair held in honor of Sikh New Year. Baisakhi is the Sikh New Year. By late afternoon, a huge throng was present, a rather quiet crowd and not an angry mob. Estimates vary, but there are certainly more than 10,000 people enclosed by the walls of surrounding buildings. It had only a few narrow openings for the entrance or exit. Some of them were locked. This Jallianwala Bagh was closed from three sides, and there was only one opening that was there, and that was also closed by the British officials. The incident? Brigadier General Dyer reached the spot with 65 Gurkha and 25 Baluchi soldiers. These are the name of soldiers, Gurkha and Baluchi, with 50 rifles. He also brought two armored vehicles fitted with machine guns. The garden was an enclosed space with one exit, which was now blocked by the soldiers. More than 1,650 bullets were fired upon the bodies of more than 15,000 to 20,000 cloud from a close range. The firing stopped only when the ammunition was exhausted. Close to 10,000 people were killed on the spot, and more than 1,500 were seriously injured. There was a stampede that thousands of people fell into the well in the compound. So as you can see that there was a well also in the compound, from which more than 1,000 dead bodies were eventually pulled out. These are some pictures how the massacre is going on, how the British officials are killing the Indian people, and on the right side as you can see is a picture of General Dyer, who ordered the troops to fire. What is the aftermath of this incident? According to the historians, this was a very decisive and a tragedy in the history of India. Though the crowd was totally unarmed, General Dyer claimed that he was attacked by the Revolutionary Army. He made it clear that he had gone to a place with the plan of opening fire upon his crowd. He even said that he would have used machine guns on this helpless crowd, but could not do so because he couldn't move them to position via the narrow passage that led to the place of gathering. This was very big tragedy in the history of India. Thank you.
Wow! It was a wonderful presentation. We are indeed thankful to you, dear friend, for enlightening us on this day.
Friends, we know that today is a historic day that crowns the sacrifice of the martyrs. So, to pay homage to the martyrs in the best possible way, here we have Anshika Sharma of class 10 reciting a Hindi poem.
अंग्रेजों ने चलाई थी पंजाब में गोलियां, वो हिंदुस्तान पर दाग था। अब याद आता है वो मंजर, नाम जिसका जलियांवाला बाग था। चलो तुम्हें कुछ बताती हूँ, याद उस जलियांवाले बाग की दिलाती हूँ। दिन वो बैसाखी का था, देशभक्ति की झांकी का था। सभी मनाने आए थे मिलकर त्योहार, करने आए थे नए साल की शुरुआत। गूंज रही थी चार दीवारी इनकलाब के नारों से, जब सहम उठा पूरा भारत डायर के अत्याचारों से। थी यही वो जगह जहां चली थी जुल्म की गोलियां, खेली गई थी निर्दोषों के खून से होलियां। मशीन गन से चली थी सारे निहत्तों पर गोलियां, न जाने कितनी माओ की सूनी हो गई थी झोलियां। कैसे रूह नहीं कांपी उस जनरल डायर की, दे दी जिसने आज्ञा अंधाधुन फायर की। कैसे कांपे नहीं हाथ उन सैनिकों के, जिन्होंने मार दिए पुत्र कितनी ही माओं के। कितना रोया होगा वो बाप, मर गया जिसका पुत्र निष्पाप। कैसे कैसे जिंदा रही होगी वो माँ, जिसका बेटा गया था मिट्टी में समा। कैसे सोई होगी वो बहना, जिसे मिला वो राखी का धागा रक्त में सना। अरे कैसे जिंदा रही होगी वो पत्नी, जिसके सिंदूर से रंगी थी सारी जमीन। आज भी आंखें नम हो जाती हैं जब याद उस जलियांवाले बाग की आती है। वो गोलियों के निशान आज भी दिल को चीर देते हैं। वो पतली गली आज भी दम घोटती है, वो कुआं आज भी चीखता है। दीवारों पर बने वो गोलियों के निशान आज भी पूछते हैं कि वक्त तो हर जख्म भर देता है ना, तो फिर ये जख्म क्यों नहीं भरते। गोलियों के निशान आज भी सहेजे हैं, जख्म दिलों पर आज फिर कुरेदे हैं। वो कुआं आज भी कुछ दर्शाता है, वीरों के बीते कल का साहस हमें बताता है, साहस हमें बताता है। 13 अप्रैल की वो बैसाखी आज भी हमको याद है, 13 अप्रैल की वो बैसाखी आज भी हमको याद है। उन अमर शहीदों की निशानी आज भी हमको याद है। जलियांवाला बाग की वो अमर ज्योति अब भी सौगात है, अब भी सौगात है। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
This was truly mesmerizing. Huge applause to you, my friend. Coming to the end of the program, I take the privilege to thank our Honorable Principal, Mrs. Nair, for her continuous motivation and support to make this assembly possible. Nevertheless, our teachers are highly appreciable and we express a heartfelt gratitude to each one of them who has been a part of this assembly to help and guide us regularly.
My dear friends, I am reminded of the words of Ram Prasad Bismil, and I wish that would become the prayer of each youth of our country. O Lord, grant me 100 births in India, but grant me this too, that each time I may give up my life in the service of the motherland.
Well said, my friend. May God grant us all such wisdom and strength that each and every work that we do is for the upliftment and betterment of our country.
Let us all raise our voices in unison and sing the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind. Thank you.